Here's a number that should stop you cold. By 2030, nearly 73 million Americans will be over the age of 65, and the vast majority of them plan to keep driving. That means right now, in 2026, there are tens of millions of people shopping for a new SUV who need something most car reviewers completely ignore. Not the fastest, not the flashiest, not the one with the biggest screen or the most horsepower. What seniors actually need is something that gets in and out without throwing your back out, that has controls you can actually read and feel, that doesn't require a software engineering degree just to turn on the heated seats, and that you can trust to start every single morning for the next decade without drama. And here's the brutal truth. Most SUVs on the market in 2026 are actively failing on at least 2 or 3 of those requirements. Automakers are chasing 30-year-olds with disposable income and a TikTok account. And in that race, they're leaving behind the most experienced and financially secure buyers in the entire market. But not all of them. There are exactly 5 SUVs in 2026 that get it right. Completely, thoughtfully, almost perfectly right for seniors and older drivers. And by the time this video is over, you're going to know exactly which one should be sitting in your driveway. Let's start with number 5, and I want you to pay close attention to this one because it's the most underrated pick on this entire list. The 2026 Subaru Forester. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Subaru is for young, outdoorsy people who kayak on weekends and have a dog named Biscuit. But here's what those people don't realize. The Forester is quietly one of the most thoughtfully engineered vehicles for older drivers on the entire market. And Consumer Reports backs that up, placing the Forester on their nearly perfect SUV list for 2025 and into 2026. Start with visibility, because this is the thing that matters more than almost anything else as we age and our peripheral vision and reaction time change. The Forester has the best outward visibility in its class, full stop. The greenhouse is tall and airy, the A-pillars are thin, and the seating position puts you up high with a commanding view of everything around you. You're not squinting through a slot like you are in a coupe-style crossover. You see everything. Then there's the entry and exit situation. The doors open wide. The step-in height is low enough to be comfortable, but high enough that you don't have to collapse into the seat. And once you're in, the headroom is generous enough that even taller drivers don't feel like they're being folded into a suitcase. The 2026 Forester comes standard with Subaru's EyeSight safety suite on every single trim. That means automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise, lane keeping, and blind spot monitoring without having to pay extra for it. Pricing starts at approximately $33,000 and goes to about $43,500 for the fully loaded Wilderness. The powertrain is either a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated Boxer 4 making 180 horsepower or the e-Boxer hybrid system pushing 194 horsepower combined with notably better city fuel economy. The standard engine gets around 26 to 33 mpg depending on trim and driving style. And critically, the Forester keeps physical controls for the things you actually need to reach while driving. This is not a vehicle trying to bury your climate control 3 menus deep. Subaru knows who actually buys Foresters, and they designed accordingly. Coming in at number 4 is a vehicle that earned its spot on this list the old-fashioned way, by refusing to cut corners. The 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid. Honda has been building the CR-V for over 25 years. And in that time, they've learned something that a lot of newer brands haven't figured out yet. People who've owned 3 or 4 cars know exactly what matters and what's just marketing noise. The CR-V Hybrid for 2026 pairs a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder with 2 electric motors for a combined output of 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. Those torque numbers matter for seniors because you feel them at low speeds, in parking lots, when pulling out of driveways, the places where you drive every single day. Fuel economy is outstanding, with Consumer Reports recording 40 mpg in real-world testing. That's sedan-level efficiency in an SUV, which translates directly to fewer trips to the gas station, and at 2026 gas prices, significantly more money in your pocket every month. The interior is where Honda really earns praise from older drivers. The controls are logically laid out, the fonts are readable, and Honda Sensing, their full safety suite, including collision mitigation braking, adaptive cruise, and road departure mitigation, comes standard across the lineup. The rear seats fold almost completely flat, and with 33.2 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats, there's room for everything, from luggage to groceries to a mobility scooter if needed. MSRP starts at approximately $35,000, and the hybrid warranty runs 8 years or 100,000 miles on the powertrain components, which for any buyer, but especially for someone who wants to own this vehicle for a decade, is enormously reassuring. NHTSA gave it a 5-star overall safety rating. IIHS named it a top safety pick. This is a vehicle with receipts. Number 3 is where things get interesting, and where I expect some of you to push back in the comments. But hear me out. The 2026 Mazda CX-5. Mazda's reputation has traditionally been about driving dynamics, about the enthusiast experience, about making cars that are fun to pilot. And yes, the CX-5 is genuinely enjoyable to drive in a way that most of its competitors simply aren't. But here's what's changed and why it belongs on this list. Mazda has spent the last several years obsessively closing the gap between their vehicles and true luxury cars, and in the CX-5, they've largely succeeded. The interior quality is exceptional. Soft-touch surfaces, real stitching, a build quality that Consumer Reports notes rivals dedicated luxury SUVs costing $20,000 more. For seniors, this matters because you're spending real money on this vehicle and you deserve to feel like you did. The 2026 CX-5 brings an updated 15.6-inch display on higher trims with Google Automotive built in, but, and this is important, Mazda kept a traditional gear shifter and retained physical controls for the functions you use most. The infotainment, while large, is designed to be operated without pulling your eyes off the road. The suspension on the 2026 model was retuned specifically to increase comfort on longer drives, while maintaining stability, and road noise insulation is among the best in this class. Power comes from a 2.5-liter four-cylinder with a 24-volt mild hybrid assist, making approximately 187 horsepower, paired to a conventional 6-speed automatic, not a CVT that whines and hunts, but a real transmission with real shifts. Fuel economy runs approximately 31.5 mpg combined. Pricing spans $30,000 to $40,000 depending on trim and market, and Mazda's reliability trajectory has been moving in one direction. Consumer Reports and J.D. Power have both placed Mazda among the top 3 most reliable brands in recent years, and the CX-5 specifically earns above-average scores for engine and transmission reliability. Now here's the one thing you need to know before you buy. Mazda made the controversial decision to move climate controls fully onto the touchscreen in the 2026 model. Some people adapt quickly, others hate it with a burning passion. You need to sit in one and decide for yourself before signing anything. At number 2, we arrive at the vehicle that has dominated reliability rankings, dominated resale value charts, and dominated the American SUV market for years. The 2026 Toyota RAV4. But with a catch that changes everything about how you should think about it. Toyota made the single boldest product decision of any mainstream automaker in recent memory. They killed the gasoline-only engine entirely. Every 2026 RAV4 is either a standard hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. No exceptions. No base 4-cylinder to keep costs down. You're going green whether you plan to or not. And I'll be honest, for most seniors, that is not a problem. It's actually an advantage. The standard hybrid combines a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with electric motors for 219 horsepower in front-wheel drive trim and 227 horsepower with all-wheel drive. And fuel economy lands between 40 and 45 mpg combined. That means if you're driving 12,000 miles a year, roughly the national average for drivers over 65, you are cutting your fuel costs by roughly half compared to a conventional SUV. The RAV4's new interior for 2026 features a 12.3-inch screen running Toyota's updated operating system with over-the-air updates. Toyota's Safety Sense 4.0 comes standard and includes automatic emergency braking, cross-traffic alert, lane keeping, and driver attention monitoring. The hybrid battery carries an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The battery itself is covered for 10 years or 150,000 miles. Toyota is literally telling you this powertrain will outlast your loan and probably your next one. Pricing starts at approx $32,000 for the standard hybrid and climbs to around $45,000 for the plug-in GR Sport. The RAV4 is one of the most reliable vehicles Consumer Reports has ever evaluated, scoring above 80 points, a figure they describe as their seal of approval. However, and this is the thing I need you to sit with, the move to touchscreen-based controls, including for some climate functions, is a real concern for drivers who strongly prefer physical buttons. It's not a deal-breaker for everyone, but it is something you must verify on a test drive before you commit. And that brings us to number 1, the vehicle that, when you stack every single thing that matters to a senior buyer, ease of entry and exit, visibility, physical controls, reliability, safety ratings, ride quality, and long-term ownership costs, comes out on top more decisively than anything else in its class. The 2026 Subaru Forester. No, I'm just kidding. It's the 2026 Lexus NX Hybrid. Before you say it's out of budget, stay with me, because the value equation here is more interesting than the sticker price suggests. The NX Hybrid uses Toyota's proven hybrid system, the same technology that's logged hundreds of millions of miles in RAV4s and Camrys, elevated to luxury standards. The powertrain combines a 2.5-liter four-cylinder with electric motors for 239 combined horsepower and fuel economy that Consumer Reports recorded at 35 mpg in combined driving. That is remarkable for a luxury vehicle. But here's what makes the NX the #1 choice for seniors. The interior is genuinely exceptional in ways that directly benefit older drivers. The seats are properly supported for longer drives, not just for the first 20 minutes. The cabin is among the quietest in any SUV at any price. Lexus's insulation is obsessive, and you feel it immediately. The controls are thoughtfully arranged, with intuitive climate controls that Consumer Reports specifically praises for being easy to use without distraction. And Lexus reliability isn't marketing. They consistently rank at or near the top of Consumer Reports reliability surveys, and the NX Hybrid specifically scores well above average across all major systems. MSRP for the NX Hybrid starts at approximately $42,000, which puts it within reach of a fully loaded mainstream competitor when you factor in what you're getting. The warranty is strong. The dealer service experience is consistently rated among the best in the industry. And perhaps most importantly, this is a vehicle that will retain its value, its refinement, and its reliability for as long as you choose to own it. Lexus didn't build the NX to impress anyone at a stoplight. They built it to reward the person who drives it every single day for the next 15 years. So, here's what I want to know from you. Because I've given you 5 very different answers to the same question, and the right one depends entirely on your life, your budget, and what you actually need from a vehicle. Are you the person who wants maximum reliability and proven hybrid technology at a mainstream price? Are you drawn to the visibility and honesty of the Forester? Are you someone who believes you deserve genuine luxury after a lifetime of practical choices? Drop your answer in the comments below and tell me which one you'd actually put in your garage. And if you think there's an SUV I missed, one that should be on this list and isn't, I want to hear about that too. Because the next video we're doing, might just change your mind about a brand you've never seriously considered before.